And Gen Con 2023 continues. It is Saturday. I'm wrapping up my final interview, I think, of the con. I'm not positive. And I did say, I don't want to say best because it makes other companies feel bad.
There are a lot of great interviews I'm sure you've done with a lot of great companies.
Yes, but I will say, out of all the role-playing game publishers that are out there, I hope some of the greatest love for Chaosium Inc. And Rick Meints is joining me. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, you did.
I thought I did.
Got it in one, Jeff. Great to see you again.
It's like,
yeah.
Me and names are always bad news.
Yeah, me too.
So, there is a ton going on with Chaosium Inc. recently. You've seen tons of coverage. You've seen reviews. But we are going to talk about some really exciting role-playing game products, some award-winning.
Yes, last night.
Yes.
Chaosium involved with 2 silver Ennies, which is fantastic.
And a couple of brand new releases here at the show.
That's right. First time ever.
What do you want to talk about first?
Well, in no particular order, because they're all fantastic, created by awesome people. But I thought I'd start with Rivers of London. Ben Aronovich, very famous UK author, has licensed us the Rivers of London series of books. So we've turned it into a role-playing game, investigative, supernatural, and this is our first release. The core rule book is available, and it's been very popular here at the show. And this is what won a Silver Ennie last night for Product of the Year.
Fantastic. Now, I have reviewed Rivers of London, and I have pointed out that you don't actually have to know anything about the Rivers of London series of novels or comic books to actually jump in and play.
You'll learn a lot from the book, but also just from experiencing it during play. And yeah, it's a great for beginning adventurers.
And I believe somewhere down the line we're going to see a United States.
There is an America source book in the works. That's not the exact title. We're trying to think of something clever. But yes, the America source books is well underway. It's going to be the next book in the series. Hope to have it out 6 to 9 months.
Fantastic. Now let's talk about another amazing release. Let's talk Pendragon.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Had that close at hand.
It is so good, everybody. You've seen my review. It's fantastic. The late great Greg Stafford.
Yes, I mean that's name's right on the box. This is Greg's deluxe final, rule set for it, and we're relaunching the line starting this year with the starter set. It's very similar to other starter sets. It's got a introductory solo adventure that teaches the rules, and then it's got multiplayer scenarios, and of course the core rules distilled down for getting started right away. Pre-gen characters. This one's a little bit different because it's also got battle cards, introducing the battle card system, and of course a set of dice.
And of course, if you're not familiar with Pendragon, it is the Legend of King Arthur, and you play as knights. And it's a very unique role-playing game system, in my opinion.
Oh, yes. I mean, it really captures the whole era of chivalry, romance, passions are one of the core mechanics in the game. And, of all the games Greg did, this is what he was most proud of. This is what he involved with Glorantha and RuneQuest and all that, other games as well, but this is what he considers his proudest masterpiece.
Right.
And so we're going to be following this up in a few months with a core rulebook. Also, the Grey Knight adventure done by Larry DiTilio, famous Hollywood scriptwriter. And then we're going to have a Nobles book and a whole series of others following it on. Regular releases, keeping Pendragon in print here for it.
So real quickly, are we going to see somewhere down the line wasn't it called the Great Pendragon Campaign?
The Grand Pendragon Campaign. We currently got it set up as a 4-volume set. It'll have individual books. Of course, we're going to release them one at a time. The Boy King era will be the first. We're going to have the kind of Boy King with Uther, and then the follow-on other books. You can run them independently. We may do them as a deluxe set as well. But yes, the Grand Pendragon Campaign is part of the production pipeline.
It is famed. It really is. It's legendary, and I'm glad to see that
it won the Diana Jones Award. Yeah. One of Greg's several Diana Jones awards, and he's certainly proud of that as well.
So let's talk a little bit about a game that I have run for over 40 years now, and that would be Call of Cthulhu. And there was a recent release with that.
Yes, Nameless Horrors, a collection of 6 scenarios. and a wide range of time frames and eras, not just the classic 1920s. There's also modern and such as well. And it's, we have a number of these books that come out where people want, 1 or 2 nights of play per scenario. And so we have 6 of them in this book. All the color handouts that people have come to know and love. And so Nameless Horrors is debuting at this show as well.
And it's excellent. I've got a review of that too. So far, everything we've talked about, I've reviewed and I've covered. Thank you.
Well, all right. Next up, I'd like to mention basic role-playing. Chaosium, our house system, we refer to it as basic role-playing. It's based on RuneQuest and Call of Cthulhu. First came out in 1981. Now we have the big full rule book, and it just allows you to, using your world, your setting, be it futuristic or medieval or fantasy or sci-fi, anything in between, you can adapt our rules. It's kind of like a toolkit, so you can make it crunchier or lighter, but same stats, same percentile mechanics, and we got it all in one big book.
Sweet. I have not had a chance to take a peek at that, so I am looking forward to that.
You might be looking at it soon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And so, yeah, debuting at the show, I got a gold leatherette version of it, as well as a standard hardcover. And so, if you like your own game world, this is the best place to hook in rules.
Or it's even it could be used as kind of an add-on to, say, Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, totally.
If you wanted to kind of change things up, like Cthulhu in space.
Sure.
The mythos in space, things like that.
Whatever captures your imagination, whatever you want to kit bash together, this is a great way to do it. Just using Chaosium's house system. Hard to believe it's been around almost 50 years now.
Amazing. So I think we're probably getting to the point where we should talk about the 2 Gen Con releases for RuneQuest.
In some ways, they're kind of like the player's handbooks of Glorantha and RuneQuest. We have a series of cult books coming out, starting with the Lightbringers, which is one of the more popular range of deities in Glorantha, especially in the Dragon Pass area. And then the Earth Goddesses book. These are the first 2 of 8 cult books, along with a Prospedia and then also a general mythology book. But, we're trying to make it accessible, so if you tend to play in one pantheon, you can just pick your pantheon and go from there. And so these are the first 2 that are debuting here. And a lot of people just pick 1 or 2 cults and dive right in.
And you've seen coverage of the Postpedia already, and it was pretty interesting because I did it live first look.
Sure. We debuted that at Chaosium Con last April.
And people were like, wow, you know what? I wasn't expecting so much artwork and in the Postpedia.
These, I would not be surprised at all if these get nominated for Best Production Values, Best Art, Best Cover Art. We've really tried to up our game with all of our art for all of our lines, but with RuneQuest, it's such a visual world. The art in here is just dynamite.
And I will point out, if you're not overly familiar with RuneQuest, check out loads of coverage I've done over the past few years. And it is another setting that is extremely unique. Another of Greg Stafford's babies. It's kind of Bronze Age fantasy.
Yeah, Bronze Age fantasy. The gods are real. Everyone can use magic.
Right.
It uses our house system, basic role playing.
Combat is dirty and highly lethal.
It can be highly lethal.
So none of that, first level character. I've been beat on 10 times. I'm still around, dude.
Yeah,
hits.
One of the things we changed with RuneQuest is you can start at a higher power level. You can be initiates or even rune level, and that way you're not as fragile. But if you want to start, 0 to hero, that's very possible as well. And it's just pick your gods, pick your spells, and enjoy the world.
Anything on the horizon you might be able to share with the viewers?
Oh, we have a regular production schedule of books. These, as I said, those are the second and third of the Cult series, which is a 10-volume series. We're going to be releasing another Cults book every few months. The Lunars are coming up soon. We got the Mythology book, which is an overview of how it all works with the gods in Glorantha, and then going on from there with more cults, troll cults and the Darkness book and so on. For Call of Cthulhu, we're very close to having the Arkham book go to the printers. So the Arkham Core, book will be coming out hopefully within 6 months. Between now and then, we also have another solo adventure because we had Alone Against the Dark, Alone Against the Frost, Alone Against the Tide. This is Alone Against the Static. And the twist with that one is it's 1980s, so it's kind of modern.
Okay.
But, no Google yet.
Right.
Very primitive cell phones kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, Alone Against the Static, we try to have one of those come out every year, and so that's the next one. And it's written by one of our in-house team, Brian Holland, and it's his first published solo adventure, and it's at the printers as we speak.
Well, congratulations to him.
Hope to have it out by Christmas.
Fantastic. Any final thoughts you want to share with the audience here?
We want to thank all the fans who voted for us for Fan Favorite Publisher. We were one of the finalists. We didn't quite get there, but still, thanks for everybody who voted for us. And then, of course, for the Ennies, winning the Silver Ennie for Rivers of London, and for one of our community content programs. I just want to give a shout out to them as well, because all of our major game lines, be it RuneQuest, Call of Cthulhu, and speaking of forthcoming things, we're going to have a community content program for Pendragon as well.
Nice.
The Companions of Arthur. And so, our community content programs are just a fantastic group of people producing, hundreds of titles between the game lines. And I want to thank all of them for especially just rounding out what we publish directly with so many great additional titles.
Fantastic. Rick,
Thank you, Jeff.
kindly. It's always good to talk with you here at
I look
Gen
forward to
Con.
next time.